I don't know any kid who doesn't want to learn. Children are born with immense possibilities, infinite possibilities, and they have a massive appetite to learn. Think what happens in the first 18 months of life. Children learn to speak. Little babies in the first 18 months learn to speak, and nobody teaches them. You don't. If you're a parent, you didn't teach your child to speak. It's far too complicated. You wouldn't have the time and they wouldn't have the patience. It's not like you sit your child down at the age of 18 months and say, look, we need to talk. Or more specifically, you do. And you probably noticed your mother and I have been making all these noises for the past 18 months. Well, some of these are names of things. We call them nouns. There are other noises we make. They're not names of things. They're names of things you can do with things. We call them verbs. If you change the noise, you can say what you will do and what you have done. And don't worry about the subjunctive. Nobody gets it. It doesn't work like that. Kids absorb language through their skin. You nudge them, you correct them, they mimic you, but you don't speak, you don't teach them. And by the way, if they grow up in a home where there are 6 languages spoken, they'll just learn all of those. Kids love to learn. The problem they have is with education, which is the time when we start to decide systematically to teach them things. And many of the rhythms of education are obstructive to the natural rhythms of learning. So my premise is that children are born with immense natural capacities. They have a tremendous appetite to learn, and education has become the problem. And I'd love to know what Sadhguru has to say about this.
I have addressed education in 3 different dimensions, which people around me are still trying to grasp why these 3 different things. There is one form of education which is called Isha Vidya. I think they might have showed something about that. This is for the rural masses in India, where the problem is they are in an economic and social pit which they cannot get out by themselves. The only ladder for them is education, employment-generating education. But there are reasonably well-to-do people where they might have gone through that in the previous generation, but this generation need not think about how to earn my living. They have to look at how to expand who they are. So we have Isha Homeschool, which caters to that, because this kind of education costs money. So only people who can afford it can do that. Costs money means not like how it costs here. By Indian standards, it costs money. And there's another form of education where people are not interested in serving this machine or that machine, they want individuals to blossom. So we have Isha Samskriti, where there is no academic education of any kind. They only learn music, dance, art, Sanskrit language, Kalari, which is the mother of all martial arts, and yoga, English language as a passport to the world. So these children are a treat to watch. This is how children should have been. Just to give you a glimpse of what it is. At the age of 15, for 3 years, they go into monastic life. Compulsorily they must go on, compulsorily they must come out at 18. They cannot continue. This is for discipline and focus. So I was to initiate these 15-year-olds, and these 60 days they are going through, from morning 3:30 to 9 in the evening, they are going through almost 8 hours of meditation, varieties of sadhana, completely silent for 60 days. 15-year-old kids, totally silent. So I want to see how they are, and I go there at 3:30 in the morning to see them. All these kids are just sitting like this, unmoving. I just looked at them and they were literally glowing. I sat there and wept because I have never seen children like this in my life. Definitely I was not like this when I was 15. I was nowhere near what they are today. But you can't make the entire world like that. This is an ideal to work towards. The idea of this kind of schooling is just to develop human body and human brain without any intention. Without any intention as to what they should become. They can become whatever they want. Only thing is, human body and human mind should grow to its fullest capability, and attention is the main thing. An indiscriminate and unprejudiced attention is what we're trying to evolve in the children, that they learn to pay attention to everything the same way, that you don't divide the world as something as good and something as bad, something high, something low, something divine, something devil, something filthy, something sacred. No, you learn to pay the same attention to everything. This is the fundamental of this form of education.